Hello, my name is Mr. Henry Counts, and I will be teaching Health Education 230. I am a graduate of Lambda University, where I attained my Bachelor of Science in Sociology, and the University of South Carolina Norman J. Arnold School of Public Health, where I received a Master's in Public Health with an emphasis on health promotion and education behavior. In Module 1, that's entitled Caring for the Mind, I will discuss the following topics: the 6 dimensions of health, emotional and mental health, depression, anxiety disorder, stress, attention disorders, communication and relating, forming relationships, and dysfunctional relationships. Upon completion of this module, students will be able to identify the 6 dimensions of health and discuss the interconnectedness that exists among them. Chapter 1, Healthy Future. Now let's begin. Health and wellness. Health means being of sound body, mind, and spirit. The World Health Organization defines health as not merely the absence of disease or infirmity, but a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Wellness can be defined as purposeful, enjoyable living, or, more specifically, a deliberate lifestyle choice characterized by personal responsibility. The 6 dimensions of health. Physical health. Health is not a static state, but a process that depends on the decisions we make and the behaviors we practice every day. Psychological health. Psychological health refers to both our emotional and mental states. Spiritual health. Spiritual healthy individuals identify their own basic purpose in life, learn how to experience love, joy, and peace, and fulfillment, and help themselves and others achieve their full potential. Social health. Social health refers to the ability to interact effectively with other people in the social environment, to develop satisfying interpersonal relationships, and to fulfill social roles. Intellectual health. Intellectual health refers to your ability to think and learn from life experiences, your openness to new ideas, and your capacity to question and evaluate information. Environmental health. Environmental health refers to the impact your world has on your well-being. Health prevention and protection. Prevention is information to help people to identify risk, reduce stressors, and prevent potential medical problems. Protection is making risky behavior safer to prevent injury or unwanted risk. Factors that shape positive behavior. 1. Predisposing factors, which includes knowledge, attitudes, and beliefs. 2. Enabling factors, which includes skills and resources. And 3. Reinforcing factors, which includes encouragement, praise, and recognition. Chapter 2, Psychological and Spiritual Well-Being. Positive psychology. Focus on emotional traits and institutions, and examples would be hope and trust, wisdom and courage, and strong family democracy. Emotional intelligence is the ability to monitor and use emotions to guide thinking and actions. Emotional needs are important as well as explained by Maslow's pyramid of hierarchy as seen here. Practicing optimism over pessimism. Here we see the advantage of practicing optimism, and we also see the results of what happened when we practice being pessimistic. Autonomy is independence. Autonomous individuals feel they are in control. Spiritual health is the ability to identify life's purpose. Spirituality is a belief in a higher power. Spiritual intelligence is a capacity to sense, understand, and tap into the highest parts of ourselves, others, and the world around us, and does not require a belief in God. Chapter 3, Caring for the Mind. Mental illness. In this slide, we look at two definitions pertaining to mental illness. The first comes from Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, 4th edition, and the second comes from the U.S. government. Take time to read both definitions and be able to explain them. Most common mental disorders: mood disorders, depression, bipolar disorder, anxiety disorders, includes phobia and panic disorders, and substance abuse usually includes drugs and alcohol. Effects of depression may include being depressed, helpless or hopeless, restless or slow, not interested in pleasurable activities. Physical symptoms: difficulty concentrating or thinking critically, persistent thoughts of death, withdrawal from others, and eating more or less. Depression treatments is individualized, and they include psychotherapy, antidepressant medication, exercise, and behavior change. Chapter 4, Personal Stress Management. Stress and stressors. Stress is a nonspecific response of the body to any demand, and stressors are positive or negative things that upset or excite you. 5 categories of stress, and they include acute, time-limited, brief, naturalistic, sequence of stressful events, chronic stressors, and past stressors. Theory to explain stress responses. In this slide, we will focus on the biological theory, which includes the general adaptation syndrome. This slide explains the general adaptation syndrome and how the body deals with stress. So usually a stressor may be threatening or exhilarating, and it triggers the alarm stage. And once the alarm stage is triggered, it triggers the resistance stage. And then it goes through to the exhaustion stage. Now, if the body goes through and comes back to normal, that's known as homeostasis, and that's a balanced state, and that's what we strive for. Stress in the immune system. The immune system adaptation to stress becomes harmful as stress becomes chronic. So usually people who tend to stay stressed out a lot also tend to get sick a lot because your immune system is compromised and you can't always fight off illnesses and diseases. Common college stressors. Harvard college students report high level of stress each semester. And the top 5 reasons are: 1, financial problems; 2, test pressures; 3, problems in friendships and relationships; 4, frustrations; and 5, daily hassles. 5 specific ways to manage stress. Number 1, journaling or writing. Number 2, exercise. Number 3, relaxation, and that can be progressive relaxation, visualization, or even biofeedback. Number 4, meditation and mindfulness. And number 5, yoga. Chapter 5, social health. 2 skills that will improve communication. First, learn to listen. Try to understand feelings and motivations. Ask questions when you don't understand, and prompt person to continue talking. Number 2, be agreeable but assertive. Make needs and desires clear, and use non-provocative words. Men and women communicate differently. For example, men tend to demonstrate superiority by talking, and men also will interrupt to get information. Women, on the other hand, will talk to draw people closer and likely to wait rather than to interrupt. The psychological view of love. There are 6 types of love: liking, infatuation, romantic love, compassionate love, fictitious love, and consummate love. There are 3 components of love, and that would be intimacy, passion, and commitment. Become familiar with the 6 types of love and knowing what they are. You also want to become familiar with the 3 components of love, because just as sure as you live, you will experience love. Dysfunctional relationships, and sometimes these things do happen. Dysfunctional relationships does not promote healthy communication, honesty, or intimacy. Physical symptoms will include headaches, digestive trouble, and difficulty sleeping. It takes a lot of time and energy to change a dysfunctional relationship. And lastly, we will look at codependency. Codependency is a behavior learned by family members to survive great pain and stress of their loved ones, addiction, or illnesses. Treatment can include individual or group therapy, education, or Codependent Anonymous. And this concludes Module 1.